Just check with the Facebook Live, it's happening. TGSB. I'm going to start shortly. It's live on Facebook, it's showing.
Yes, ma'am, it's live.
Yeah. Hi all, we are just starting our third session of Expert Talk shortly. A warm welcome to all the panelists out here. We have Ms. Aprupa Gupta, and we have Ms. Manju Chakravarti, admin, and we have Ms. Priyanka Singh, and we have Sandhya Vishwan and Mr. Prithvi Banwasi. I'll be shortly introducing each one of them as we go. So, we have a 45 audience, and we are starting with them. The last two sessions were fantastic. There were a lot of questions which was asked, and everyone was asking how to keep the children engaged between 2 to 4 years. That's how we thought. I request all of you to mute your audios, please. You can keep your video on, but please kindly switch off your audio because your children might be talking and it will hinder the panelists speaking. So that's a reason that we have got these people to speak, the experts in the kindergarten and the primary. As you all know that we talk about Howard Gardner's multiple intelligences in many of preschools. I can still hear the audio of some people. Can you please switch off the audio? It's a kind request.
Ma'am, the admin can...
Gardner said, let me quote Howard Gardner, what he says, it's not how smart you are that matters, but what really counts is how you are smart. So we talk about this because multiple intelligences is connected to smartness, that is word smart or number smart and stuff like that. And today the first speaker who is going to come and talk about the multiple intelligences to you is none else than Miss Sandhya Vishwan. So everybody knows Sandhya Vishwan as an educationist. So let me put you in a highlight, Sandhya. Highlight you. So Sandhya Vishwan, let me read a little bit about her when she gets ready for her talk. So thank you, Sandhya, for having come to this webinar today. And everybody is eagerly waiting to hear you and all about the multiple intelligences. Miss Sandhya Vishwan is handling multiple nature kids, how it is to handle the multiple nature kids is what a topic is about. And she's going to talk about encouraging multiple intelligences in early childhood, starting with homegrown activities. That sounds very interesting. So Sandhya Vishwan runs Matpai Education, which runs an alternative experiential preschool in Bangalore. Sandhya is co-admin of one of the largest online communities for education and parenting in Facebook. Bangalore Schools, it's called as, and is also the director of Bangalore Schools, of course, Education Initiatives LLP, a passionate educator and a veritable treasure house of information on the Indian education system. So Sandhya Vishwan has a multifaceted understanding of schools in India. She's trained in Montessori and extensively trained in the administrative experience in early childhood association. Her other areas of experience in education includes homeschooling, student mentorship, pluralizing learning in all kinds of classrooms, and other crucial academic roles. A very warm welcome to you, Sandhya, and over to you. You can unmute yourself.
Thank you so much. Thank
Can
you so much,
louder?
Usha, ma'am.
Yeah.
Is it audible? Yes?
Yes.
Thank you so much for the warm welcome. Hello, good evening, everyone. Hope you're all safe at home during the lockdown. And with the lockdown extended, I'm sure you're all wondering what you do with your children and keep them engaged. So we will quickly touch upon multiple intelligences and how you can work with your children at home without many resources. You can't go out and buy stuff for the activities, So let's quickly touch upon multiple intelligences and we can go into the activities as well. Just get on that. Just give me a moment, please. I'm unable to. Okay.
Screen share screen.
Yes, yes, I'm trying on that.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So as Mrs. Usha Mohan just said, multiple intelligences by Dr. Howard Gardner. He developed it as a theory in 1983. So we are
Sandhya,
mostly
can you just put it on full screen, please?
It is in full screen. Oops.
Yeah,
Enable
I will
it.
do that.
Enable
You
it.
continue. You
Yes.
continue. I will do that.
What happened now? I don't want any.
Is that okay?
Can't hear.
Enable editing and then you'll have to do it.
Stop it. I can't stop. I can't.
I won't be able to do the
Doesn't go
enable
in
it.
between.
Enable editing I've done. On top it is protected view it is.
Yes, but I won't
Can
be
you
able to
just
do
go
it
on
from-
top and then say enable editing?
I will not be able to do it
Not
from
as
here.
clear.
Protected view on top. Top of the
That
top
is
of the
not loud enough.
Yes,
Can't
please,
hear.
but it will not
It's
come
fair
in my.
that we can watch what's there on the screen. I don't think we need to really go big screen.
Is this
Okay.
okay?
Topic is more important.
Yes, I won't be able to do it from this end. Okay.
Continue, Sandhya.
Okay. Okay. So multiple intelligences was developed by Dr. Howard Gardner in 1980. And
I kept my phone on.
unlike we were used to,
I request everyone to mute their audio, please.
Sanjay,
the admin will be able to.
this was on. So it was not allowing me to.
Just.
Usha ma'am, the host can mute everyone and then unmute Sandhya.
I'm trying to mute everyone. Yeah. Yeah. You can continue, please.
Okay. So Howard Gardner proposed that all of us individuals have around 8 and now 9 intelligences within us in varying degrees. So we tend to test the IQ of a child, but all of us have varying degrees of different kinds of intelligences. Let's have a quick look at what those intelligences are. Okay. So we have the 8 of them here. I'm not touching upon the 9th one. So the verbal and the linguistic intelligence is also known as word smart. Sorry.
Your screen is not moving.
My screen is moving at my end. So is it on the first screen?
Yes.
Okay. So it's moved from my end, but all right. Let me just try to share the screen again. Wait. Sorry. Just give me a moment to get this on. I'm not able to.
Now it's in fourth slide. Yeah.
You're in the
You're able
fourth
to-
slide.
Okay.
Go back.
I'm not moving my screen.
Just stop share Sandhya and then you can do it.
Yeah, I'm trying to get back to my control. Sorry. I'm not. Oh, okay. Yep. All right. Share screen.
You continue.
Yes. 1 second, ma'am. Okay. Is this?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So these are the eight intelligences that we have in varying degrees, and verbal linguistic is also known as word smart, where we or the children are able to manipulate words, sentences, paragraphs. Then comes logical, mathematical, also known as number smart, where this is about the reasoning and analytical skills in solving problems. You've seen that it's not just math. It is about how a child tries to navigate through this world by solving things. You've seen children try to pull a chair and climb up, things like that. Then comes the spatial awareness, visual and spatial, which is also known as picture smart. This is used for visualizing and manipulating the environment. Generally, the hand-eye coordination that we see, children who are color smart, who do look at colors and try to coordinate all of that. And musical intelligence, which is the easiest one to actually understand, where they appreciate, create, and perform music, even composing. You've seen your child might be the one making those rhymes or new songs on their own. That's musical intelligence for you. Bodily kinesthetic is also known as body smart, and they have a lot of control and movement of their body, these children. Next comes interpersonal. Now, interpersonal, who are people or children with interpersonal skills, also known as people smart, are the ones who are very social. They interact easily with the people around them or other children. Then comes intrapersonal. Intrapersonal are the individuals who have the ability to understand their own emotions and analyze that as well. Last but not the least is naturalistic, where they're able to have sensitivity towards nature, appreciate nature, animals. You've seen those children who navigate easily to want to garden or be with animals. Now, these are the main 8 intelligences that we look at. Now, as a parent, we look at these intelligences in a school setting to develop the curriculum or the program to focus on all sorts of intelligences that children have. Just because a child has a dominant 3 or 4 of these intelligences does not mean that we focus only on those. We need to develop the others also to a basic level. So in a school setting, we plan things accordingly. But as a parent, what you need to understand and know in this are these intelligences, just to be able to observe your child to see which are dominant in them. You can utilize the lockdown or even after that, after identifying these, which are the dominant intelligences, to probably put them in classes or encourage and nurture that part of their talent. Let's say it's easiest is the musical, so maybe nurture that. Or if your child is a naturalist, maybe you can do something with animals or gardening that they would be involved in. You can look at that aspect. So that's the only aspect as a parent that you need to know about intelligences to be able to observe them. Next, what is more important are the skills that we need to develop in the children. Now, there are 5 main skills that we need to look at. Again, the activities would be a mix of all of this. So I'll just quickly run through what these are also. So cognitive development is generally how they learn in the environment and what you parents do think as academic skills. So the reading and the writing and the math, all of that will come, how they understand it and put it together. Next is the social and emotional development, which is very important, how they react with other people. So we teach them how to share, we teach them how to speak, how to listen to instructions. All that is very important. How when they are upset, how they need to communicate with you.
Please mute yourself, all of you, please.
Next.
Request to mute yourself. I'm not able to mute a few people.
Okay.
And the slide is not moved.
It's not moved again. Oh gosh. Wait, I'll have to stop share each time, I think.
Hi, ma'am.
Should I share it from my side?
Wait, let me just see.
Karthik, come here.
1 second. I think I have to go each time because I'm not able to enable editing. Is this visible now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I think each time I will have to stop share and go back. All right. So we did with the social and emotional development. Speech and language development is the next kind of skill that we're working on, how to use and understand. So this is the verbal skills that we talk about, how language is used, the rhymes, the songs, the speaking to other people around them. Fine motor skill development is the ability to use their small muscles, mainly the hands and the fingers, all these small, which are later, if you develop them now, which will be useful for their writing skills. and the gross motor skills, which are the use of the large muscles, which is the running and the walking, jumping, hanging. So these are the skills that as a parent you need to know needs to be developed during this lockdown. You don't need to go with multiple intelligences per se, but the skills need to be developed. Now, how are you going to do that at home while you are in lockdown and resources are at a minimum? You don't need to go out and buy things. But what we can do, I'm going to stop share again and go back to the screen. Sorry. Okay. I'm just going to quickly give you some ideas. I'm going to give you some ideas on how you can keep them engaged at home. Okay. These are, oh, it's not coming.
It has come. It has come. It had come.
Oh, really? Okay. I'm seeing the others one being shared. Okay. Is this okay now? Oops. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to. Is this visible?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So these are a few ideas. So I can tell you how to keep your child engaged at home is with all the activities that you do at home. So I'm sure most of you have planned some screen time, some activities as art and craft, and there's only so much you can do with little toddlers. We're talking about 2 to 4 year old children here who cannot be kept engaged for more than 10 to 15 minutes in some activity that you are planning for them. At school, we know that and we work around that aspect, but at home, you cannot do that. You would get angry because you don't know how to engage them in that. So the best way to engage them is to get them involved in the activities that you are doing and in the activities that they do for themselves. From brushing their teeth in the morning or taking their bath to other things, cooking, you can get them involved in activities at home. So let me just give you a few examples and then we'll speak a little more in detail. Like putting their things away and organizing it. So when they play, you can tell them, okay, you've done with playing. This is how you put it back. Now your involvement comes there on showing them how to do it. You will need to get to that, right? So put this away and even organizing, you would see that some of these children who have the logical intelligence is dominant, do categorize it themselves. The others need help in categorizing or putting it properly. Now, these children, you must have seen, your child might be the ones who would be putting green cars in one corner and red cars in another corner. So let them do that, but you need to help them to keep it in a proper way. So that takes a little time. You can get them engaged in that. Cleaning their shelf. How do you pull out things? What do you do? What needs to stay? What needs to go? How do you keep it in your in the correct rack? Be it their books, be it their toys, be it their clothes. That also brings me. You can also teach them how to fold their laundry, keep it in the shelves. I'm getting a little disturbed with the noise.
Nathan Alfonso, can you please go
I
on
want
mute?
all of you to mute your audios. I've been muting and you've been unmuting it. Please mute your audios. Thank you.
Okay. Another activity that can be done is taking care of the plants in the garden. Pouring activity, which is also one of the main life skill activities in a Montessori setup. This also helps in their gross motor skills. Spraying, their fine motor skills. Digging the soil. So you can get them involved when you are doing these activities. Cooking, baking, there are lots of things you can get them to do. Baking, there's a lot of math involved, there's a lot of measurement involved, there's a lot of mixing, how to mix, what to do. Cooking, you don't need to get them near the fire if you are worried about that, but you can, if you are careful and you are watchful under supervision. But besides that, there are so many activities in cooking that you can give your children. Mortar and pestle, give them a piece of garlic or ginger or anything put in that. So they do feel they're part of the family. They do feel that they are involved in what you are doing. So if you've noticed, children like to do what you do. And we tend to think that we need to teach children that and they need to do, or they need to play their certain way. They don't need to. This is all play for them. Pounding, another beautiful activity which we do in schools also, which you can do at home, is kneading the atta. You can give that to them. You can either give them a small batch to do their own roti, or you can give them the whole batch if you are confident that your child can do it. And then maybe the last final touches you can do. This works so much on their fine motor skills that, it helps to develop their writing skills at a later stage. So atta kneading, rolling the roti, they can make their own. One roti of theirs they can make themselves. You can give that to them. They'll pour the water. They can knead it themselves. And even chopping, if you have a safety knife, you can give them to do their chopping as well. Chopping, stirring, mixing, so many things. Get them involved in the kitchen. And putting out the laundry is another thing, where the clips, let them put the clips. You can put out the clothes and they can put the clips, so that their fine motor skills, their fingers are working on that. Now, there are so many things at home that you can do. Now that I've given you a few ideas, it's up to you, depending on your lifestyle. How can you engage them? Be it laundry, separate the whites and the colors, put the laundry bag, separate based on family members. These are all activities that they can be engaged, and it will also make your life easier during the lockdown when you are trying to, most of you might be also juggling work and home. Now, one very, very important aspect that you need to remember while you are doing all these activities is the communication. You need to be engaging them in conversation with you. What are you doing? How are you putting it? How do you fold it? This builds up on their vocabulary also and their ability to communicate. This is very important that you do that. Even while you are working, be it at home or those who are working from home. If a child asks you, what are you doing? Please use that opportunity to tell them at a level that they understand that this is what we are doing. They feel more bonded, and it is important that you build that up. This comes in the socio-emotional part as well, this building up this skill and your verbal skills as well. Even if it is in your own language, your mother tongue, please continue doing so and use this opportunity to build up communication and use all your words, right? Has my slide moved?
No.
No, okay, I think I will have to. So let me just get to the last one.
Please
Yes?
mute your
Okay.
audio, please.
Okay, so all these things you don't have to go out and find an activity to do or things to buy to keep your child engaged at home, especially the little ones. This is the time where you can build up their skills, their life skills, which will also help them to continue developing the skills, so that when they get back to school after the lockdown, when they get back to their preschools, they will be ready for the next set of activities, instead of all of us having to build from scratch what we did. And it will also, as I said, make your life much, much more easier. And please don't forget to communicate. Right?
Have you done, Sandhya?
Yes. Yes.
It was a wonderful presentation by Ms. Sandhya Vishwan. And there is a comment box down in the Facebook as well as YouTube. We are live today. So you can comment on that and ask questions on this group, Zoom group chat. You can do that. Any questions for Sandhya? She's ready to take questions from you. You can just write the questions on the Zoom group chat and we're ready to answer you. You can all switch on your videos, but do switch on your audio unless until you want to talk. I'm waiting for you to ask questions, please. You can switch on your audio and you can ask a question. Keep your videos on, but don't keep your audios on, everybody. Only the one who wants to ask question can switch on the audio. Or just put up the question there in the Zoom group chat and we're ready to answer the question. I think there's no questions and I can Zoom group chat. Thank you, Sandhya.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Now I know that you all must have known how to keep your children engaged at home. And let me quote Benjamin Franklin here. Benjamin Franklin said, "Tell me and I forget, teach me and I remember, and involve me and I learn." So all the activities which is done at kindergarten, that's how the teachers keep the children engaged in classrooms. And that's what Sandhya has given you tips, how to keep the children engaged at home. So remember, parents, you don't have to worry about the multiple intelligence or anything like that. You just have to keep the children engaged, and probably you never know that pincer grips and tripod grips and the fine motor, gross motor is already happening. And also the multiple intelligence taken care of, because children are very audio and visual kids they are. So the last session, some people have asked how to keep the children engaged at the kindergarten level. And that's why here Priyanka Singh is all about to talk about the kindergarten age group 2 to 6 years. So as you know, Priyanka Singh was there in the last session as well. Priyanka Singh is a dynamic educator and influencer with an experience of 8 years in this field. Lawyer by profession, and she picked up education field because of her interest in this area. She feels that education is the field where she can contribute to help little minds grow. So over to you, Priyanka, principal of ECC branch, the Bangalore School.
Hi all, very good evening. I hope this third session of lockdown is treating well to everyone, as well as to our kids, those who are at home and giving good time to dad and mom. So today's topic, which I have to speak about it, is a DIY activity for kindergarten for the kids, those who are between the age of 2 to 4. First of all, what I believe, that nowadays, most of the parents, they are extremely worried about the reading and writing skills. I think we all need to relax a bit here. What we have to do, we have to utilize this time by developing our kids' life skills. As Sandhya ma'am said earlier, that we have to focus on life skills. We have to build bonding with our kids in this time. How we can do that? Can we do that with one pen and a paper? Can we just do that by asking our child that let's start writing? No, we cannot. What we can do? Well, we can do some activity with the things which we have at home. So let's start with the toddler age group. This is the age group of 2 to 9, 2 to 3, sorry. So this is the age group, when the kids, they don't speak much, but they are extremely active. They know how to make their dad and mom run all the time. They cannot sit at one place even for more than 2 minutes. Every time they have something or other thing in their mind, which we have to guess. So how we can help them to learn, how we can help them to understand their life skills? Well, it's very easy. You don't have to, have a lot of things at home, because, normally what we have observed in this age, they don't play with the normal toys. They like to play with the things, which is unusual, which normally you don't give your child to play. Like, when they go in the kitchen, they will take one potato and start playing with that. Please do not stop your child, because the child, when the child is playing with that particular potato, tomato, any vegetable, any utensils available in the kitchen, they are developing their pencil grips, they are developing their, fine motor skills. The more they will hold the things, the more they will, put their hand in the pulses, in the kidney beans and all that, the more they are making their grips stronger. So what idea I can give you? You can take 2 bowls, in one bowl, you can keep some pulses. Other bowl, you can just keep it empty. Ask these little ones, first of all, sit with them. Ask this little one to start sorting. This is one of the best activity for these age, kids. You can engage them nicely. You can develop the vocab, because obviously when you are letting your child sit, please note they will not sit more than 2 minutes, because this is very common, issue with this age group, because they always like to explore, So this is something which you can do with this age group. The second thing is a very interesting activity. I think a long back we have done this in our school. We took one cardboard, we made few holes over there. But in school, we do have crayons and all. At home, you can just take the simple spoon or whatever things you have, make some holes. Ask these little ones to take the spoon and start putting it inside. Once again, you are developing the fine motor skills of the child, the pencil grips of that child. You are also developing the family bond with that particular child. You are helping that little one who's in the age group of a toddler to talk, because they understand your facial expression. But whenever you are doing such activity, make sure to talk as much as you can, because this is the time when they are learning, how to talk. We have to give them words, they don't know. We have to give them that word, but don't do it in a very quick manner, like you just have to finish it. What the focus is not the activity, but focus should be the bonding between you and the child. So the learning objective or the learning outcome is only the relationship which you have to develop with your child, so that they can start understanding you and you can start understanding that how your little one is doing. The other activity, which I can suggest for this age group is a stain windows activity, because this is the time when they are messy, if they are eating chocolates, if they are eating, their cereals, whatever, their hands are always dirty. They just go and give stamps all over the home. So you can just cover your home, the level where they can reach with some newspaper or anything available at home, and let the child, make their hands stamp print over there. Let them be engaged. The moment they will walk, they will develop their skills, their gross motor skills. These are skills that you have to sit and make something. You just allow this particular age group, to enhance their skills by involving themselves in the things, whatever is available at home. Now, let's move to the other age group of which is nursery age group, when it comes to kindergarten school. I love one idea, this idea is a cotton ball painting. Quite interesting, fun activity. What you can do, I think all the mamas, you do have cotton at home. If not, you must have your cotton stores, which maybe you are not using, or the old t-shirts which you are not using. Just take it, just cut in small pieces, take the cloth pin available at home, and make it as if this is the bowl and you are clutching it with the cloth pin. Take some paint. If paint is not available, you can, take whatever things are available at home, like turmeric or anything, to make it as a color. Let the child put that stamp inside that color and allow the child to stamp it on a newspaper, on any old magazine. Once again, you are developing the pencil grip of that child, which is required for a pre-K level. You can play some games, where whatever things are there, like take the child in the kitchen, ask the child to take out all the bowls, involve them in a household work. Ask these little ones to arrange the glasses, or when they are arranging, just ask them to count and tell me how many glasses are there. You can also ask this child to, just see what all things are there in that kitchen cabinet. This is the spoons, bowls, glasses. Ask them once again that now tell me how many glasses was there, how many spoons was there, Now, this is the data handling which you are doing with your child. But what you are achieving, once again, you are achieving the family bond. But when it comes to academic, you are achieving the data handling, the numerical skills. Once again, indirectly, you are not doing the direct teaching. Your goal is not at all achieving the numerical skills. But while doing some activity, if you can also make your child to learn something, it's always good. I think Sandhya ma'am can agree, because she's the one, who always supports homeschooling. So I've always seen her, supporting or, coming up with such ideas. So something like this we can always do. But what I want to say here, that when we are doing any DIY activity, when it comes to kids learning, we should take suggestions from experts, not only through, Pinterest or Google, but the real experts, the people, those who have done these activities, or the teachers, those who are doing such activity with the kids. so they can give the correct knowledge, okay, that what activity is better for which age group. Otherwise, they'll just end up doing homeschooling with the knowledge, whatever we have, right? So when we are doing such things at home, we have to keep one thing in the mind, that we also have to check that it's correct for my child's age group, yes or no. Otherwise, we'll end up either giving more, which is not required, either giving something which is just limited to my brain. So first of all, we have to allow, being a mother or a father, we have to allow our imagination to grow. And as per that, whatever ideas comes in terms of activity with the things available at home, then only we can do that. So one more thing which I would like to share, which one of my teacher did, she has sent this activity home. So which was the laser maze activity. Nothing, you just have to take the stones or either crepe bands if there, or the duct tapes or whatever. Suppose if you have lobby in your home, just make a maze, in the different type of pattern, just stick it on the wall. Let the child climb in, and go inside, out and all. Here, the child will be engaged for 30 to 40 minutes in that activity, because they are just playing, they're running here and there, and they're enjoying that. But, most of the parents, they appreciate such activities, especially when they are taking calls from home, because that little one is busy doing that. And after playing that game for 30 to 40 minutes, they're extremely tired. And what they want? Food and some free, relaxed time. But here, being a parent or being a teacher, what we are achieving? The gross motor skills. We are also achieving the time management when we are allowing our child to go play for 30 minutes. And when we are ringing the bell and asking the child to come back, indirectly, through these activities, we are achieving such goals. We are making our child be on a track. So these are the things which we can do with the kids, those who are in the age group of 3 to 4, the age group of nursery. Now, apart from that, there is very, very nice activity which one of the teacher has done. She has asked parents that give the dough, the last one, whatever is left over, and the rolling pin, the one which we use in a Montessori. So the same way we use at home when we prepare chapati. Just give it to the child and let the child roll it. Let the child make whatever that child is making. Now, it's mama or dada's duty to bake. You just have to make the child understand the safety reasons why you are not allowing that little one to do that particular activity. Here, you are working on one of the most important life skills. We are allowing our child to understand why safety is important when we are in the kitchen, right? And later, you never know, the child can become a master chef for India, and we'll definitely, tap our back that yes, we are the one who have asked the child to do that. So these are the things which we can do. We don't have to buy expensive stuff, to do such activity at home. We can do lot of things, whatever we have, with such things. We don't have to buy and to make it and all. Now, let's move to the other age group, which is K1 age group. Age of 4 to 5. This is the age where they always like appreciation. They like to spend time with their peer, and they start thinking that I know everything, because obviously they have become senior in their schools. Everybody is treating them accordingly. They have become leaders. So this is what they want to do at home. So this age group kids, you can, keep lot of buckets or 2, 3 buckets or whatever is available at home. And you can ask the child to segregate clothes, the cotton one in one bucket, the winter clothes in another bucket. And, but you have to ask the child that you have to tell me, I don't know. But here you don't have to arrange anything, whatever clothes available at home, you just ask the child, they start segregating, ask them to start counting. You are developing the numerical skills of the child, you are developing the sorting skills of the child and the leadership skills of the child, because you are asking that child to do that activity. You are not doing, you are just acting as if you don't know anything. So what the dad and mom can do in this time, please focus on your work, because if you are taking call or whatever, let the child do it and let them mess. If they are spoiling it, then also it's okay. They're also not going anywhere to play. So they don't have anyone with whom, they can share their mental stress or whatever. What they are doing, they just end up crying. We just have to guess, okay, the child is not happy at that particular time. So let that child turn messy. If the child is doing something which will increase my work, but it's okay. At the end of the day, the child has learned and child is happy. So what I have achieved the happiness. I have given the learning to my child that when you are doing something, darling, you have to be patient and you have to take care of your mess. So slowly, we can allow our kids to involve in, such activities which can help them to develop their life skills. But we have to utilize the things which is available at home. We can simply ask our child, to segregate the wet and a dry garbage. They don't have to put it inside. They should know that where it will go, because this we teach them through different activity in the schools. We can do that. And please note, since beginning, I didn't, had any word about reading and writing, because honestly, I don't believe that, online we can help them in the writing skills. And we don't do that. We really support the activities, because this is something which is required, maybe not today, maybe after some time, but this life skills needs to be taken care and needs to be impacted in our day-to-day life. So this is how we can do now. But when it comes to K-12, senior KG kids, this is the age, the more activity they do, the more curious they become, because they always want to know what is the outcome. So when we are doing any DIY activity with this kid, it should have some learning objective related to academic as well. So how we can do that? Very simple. You have a lot of cardboard at home. If not, the shoe boxes are there. Take it, make 2-3 holes, and ask the child to throw the ball and count how many times it has gone inside. Now add that many number in it. Suppose if the child has thrown that ball and it has gone 2 times inside, then child add 2 more. Okay, now 2 more. Now 2 more. How much it will be? Every time you are adding 2. So here the child is doing the repeated addition, which is basic for multiplication. But how you have started? You have not started that concept directly. You have started through DIY activity with the small box available at home. So this is how we can teach them the indirect concept. And later, once the concept is clear, you can, ask them to solve such questions once the school will start. Now, I would like to share my screen. One of the activity which we have shared with the parents. So what teacher did, she tried to do the same thing with her child to see that, the babies are able to do that or not. So if I'll get permission from everyone, all the parents would like to share that.
What they would have actually hope, but this should be a process, not a process.
That's what. May I know your good name, sir? It's not audible.
We can't hear you. Can you spell your name, please?
Also, please stay.
Anyway, Priyanka, you carry on and share your screen.
I think you.
I want both.
I'm not understanding who's speaking. Watch this video and probably
As you all can see, I have questions so that I can explain. So as you all can see, beginning of the video, there are a pile of clothes, and the teacher, this is the activity which she has sent to her kids. So what the mother was doing, she has asked the child, to take all these clothes and let's start sorting. Now let's see what happened next.
Let's start with the bed. Yes. What is this? This is a cat. Peacock.
Now, as you can see on the wall, what she has done, she has made 4 seasons. She has pasted that, and with that, there are small cups also, right? Now, on the floor, there are 4 buckets where she has made sun, snowman and all, which can represent that particular season and how do we feel in that season. Now, whatever clothes the child has collected, now the girl has to segregate all clothes as per the season. And she also has to tell that what cloth it is and where it will go.
We wear in winter.
So as that's what I was saying. So when we are doing such activity, we can always ask our little ones, what it is, what I am doing, where it will go. It will help the child to develop their vocab. It will help the child and the parent to develop their relationship, their family bond as well.
T-shirt you wear in summer, and sweater we wear in winter. Excellent. And this we wear in summer. What is it? This is my swimming suit.
As you heard, the child said swim coat, and what mother was doing, she is correcting it by saying that it is swimming suit. So what I'm just trying to say, that whatever activity we are doing, we also have to guide our little ones, and we also have to have the clear concept that what I want my child to understand. So don't just start anything without consulting teachers or without taking suggestions from teachers, because there are a lot of DIY activities available on net. So, I'm not going to tell you that you have to take this, you can make it in this manner, because it is always available. But what we have to do, we have to coordinate with the respective people, with respective school and a teacher, so that we know what we should do, and how. So at the end, let me just play it again. At the end,
What is this? It's my favorite cap. It's a ribbon in fall. What is this? This is the earwater. Very nice. And socks and clothes. He wear it over this. School cap.
So in the end of this video, this mom, she has started asking the child that now you have to tell me that how many clothes are there in a winter bucket, how many clothes are there in a summer bucket. And now at the end, she was asking that now you have to tell me how many total clothes we have. So what she did, she has just arranged her room with the things available at home. She has made it as a season. She has taken the available bucket at home, and she has started asking the little one. She has taken her help in washing clothes, which is indirect learning, which is the life skills. After that, she has started working for sorting, segregation, numerical skills, and then the communication skills, which is key factor or a thumb rule to grow much more in a life. So this is how indirectly, she was taking. Somebody is there?
Yeah, please mute your audios. I've muted everyone's, but still I can see some audios on.
Now, if you have noticed from beginning till now, either me or Sandhya ma'am, none of us have said anything related to screen time. Both of us were very much focused on activities. So I will request all the parents present here that please follow this as a thumb rule for this lockdown. Minimize the screen time. You can engage your kids in a lot of activity, and we people are always available to suggest you, to help you. Unfortunately, not physically, but definitely virtually through suggestions and through different PPTs or videos, we can definitely help you. So please, all of you, feel free to reach us to send your questions. You can drop your question to TGSB page as well, or to directly to Usha ma'am, or to me, or to Sandhya ma'am, anyone, because we just want these little ones to grow, not under pressure, but with happiness. You can use, I think all the parents, first of all, you deserve a clap, because you are a pandemic parent. You are doing a wonderful job. This system of education you have taken up to the different level, but please just relax and don't focus on direct writing and all that skills. Focus on life skills through different DIY activities. If anyone have any question, you can just ping me over here.
Are you done, Miss Priyanka?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I'm done. Though there are few questions.
Miss Priyanka, thank you. The questions, what it's coming is, my child is very slow in writing. Although the session was good and they talked about Sandhya, they said, Sandhya ma'am well said as to how to involve kids in the jobs at home. But the question is like, my kid is involved, but he's very slow writer. So how do I improve his writing part? They're asking.
That was my opening.
Touch upon that when she talks about the children, how to mess with kids. She can take it up, or we can take this up. What about this one? One more thing have been a big issue during lockdown is that the smartphone, the maximum time they spend watching it. If you could tell us how to cut down on the smartphone usage, and we have no other go but letting them watch. That's what the parents are telling.
No, actually, that's what our opening statement was. Cut down the screen time. How you can do that? As I said, as per their height, cover your walls with newspaper or magazines, whatever available at home, and let them turn messy. Make them wear your old t-shirt if they are spoiling their dresses. If it is turning you, if it is allowing you to lose your cool or something, let the child do scribbling. It's okay. You can ask the child to help you when you are cooking. Not the typical cooking, but when you are preparing the food, like making dough and all other things, you can ask the child to help you. The more they will be engaged in an activity, the less they will focus on screen, either it is mobile or TV. I think it's only we who allow our little ones, right? So we just have to shift their interest to different activities.
There is one question from Junita. She says, you cut down on the screen time, but you're doing online classes. So will the children not addict to the screen time then at the early age?
If I may answer, if it's okay.
This question is actually very interesting.
Let me answer this question on behalf of Priyanka. The screen time, as you're saying, shorten it. We are telling you there will be online classes. Children can watch it on the computer or bigger screen. We don't prefer children watching on smartphones. All right, so make it sure the child is watching on an iPad or this, and tell him it's educational and it's an online class of yours, and it's going to be only this much time is limited for it. After this, it will be switched off. It depends upon how we discipline our kids, right, Priyanka? So carry on, Priyanka.
Yes, that's what I was saying. If we are doing online classes, we have to understand one thing, it's just the support classes. So that once the school will reopen, they don't come to school blank, So whatever we are doing, it is activity based. It is not the reading, writing, and all such activity, which for those things we require the regular schools and a physical presence of a teacher. So we are not doing that. We just have to understand. And normally it is twice in a week and activity based. So if we are allowing our little one to sit in front of laptop under parents' guidance, please note it is just activities and only for 30 minutes. In that 15 minutes, always go in chatting, with all our little ones.
May I add on something? If there is no online class, or even if there is online class, like Priyanka was saying earlier, as well as I said, screen time can be, yes, it is a little difficult now for parents to be managing both aspects, work and this. Screen time is fine. Keep a time limit for it. Keep a particular time for it. Even if it is on a daily basis, half an hour to 45 minutes is fine. But parent needs to be able to moderate it and engage them in conversation. So let's say you're watching a cartoon show or any show that the child is watching, be able to have a conversation on how they can probably, there would be a moral to it, there would be something that's happening there. How can they connect it to the world and around them? So the parent can use that as an opportunity instead of just using it as a babysitter. Please don't use it as a babysitter.
Thank you, Sandhya. Thank you for this answer. And it was a lovely session with you, Priyanka. And coming to note that Vidharth says that she has been using this screen time and locking it up for 1 hour for Vidharth. So excellent to know that the parents have started doing this and disciplining kids. On note, before I introduce Ms. Aprupa, the next speaker on the panel, I just remember Loris Malaguzzi, who is the owner of, who started the founder of, one of the approaches. So he says the children can express, explore, and connect. And their thoughts. All children don't do the same things at the same time. So we all know about it. They have 100 languages. It's a school, it's a culture, it's a people, it's a parents who snatch away the 99. I request the schools, the parents to give their 100 languages back because they have the belief that it's still the 100 and not the 99 ways of expressing. So let them express the way they want to express. And that's what we believe in the field of education, whether it's kindergarten or the primary. So over to Miss Aprupa. Before she starts, I just want to quickly introduce her. A warm welcome to you, Aprupa, on the panel.
Hi.
Can you unmute yourself? I am there, ma'am. Good evening to all of you all. Yes. So she's a passionate educator. She is the curriculum head and the school head, the primary school head of the Green School Bangalore. And she has 17 years in the field of education. She says she's a manager of the world's greatest resource, in fact, well, she prefers to call herself as an education rock star, and we all know that she's an education rock star. So over to you, Aparupa, all yours. And she's tackling the primary years as well as touch upon a little bit on the kindergarten, on the writing skills, as I said, parent who said that my child is a slow writer. Please up on that, and then probably you can talk about whatever your topic for today is. So she's going to talk about all that is messy around and how you can do the DIY activities for the primary classes. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. And I hope, as I left behind in my last session, and I said we are all there to create history together. So let's again earmark another page in our history. And my topic, as ma'am said, and I will share my screen and I will touch upon the reading and the writing part at the end of my session. So I'll just go and touch upon that first, what I'm going to talk about. So ma'am, I'm sharing the screen and I hope it's visible to all. Yes, is that clear? Is the screen visible to all?
Yeah, it is.
Yes, yeah, great. So as it shows, you can see the typical picture of a room and you see that there is a writing there. The life isn't perfect and that is fine. It can be messy. Please look at the word messy and it's in bold capital at times, and that is okay too. Find the beauty hidden in that mess, embrace it, love it, and most of all, enjoy it. And all those who are there with me with my mobile, you will see that's my DP too. Of course, not the picture. The picture is something different, but that's what my DP says always. So let's go to the next one. And what I'm going to speak is say yes to mess. Now, so let's mess around together, parents, children, my panelists, all of you. So I'm going to play a small game with you all. So whatever you all have, you'll have to, just get it. Once on my count of 10, you're going to go and get what I'm going to ask for. So what does that mess stand for? Like Madam Sandhya already told us that, she touched upon the 9 multiple intelligence. So all of us have that. So use those multiple intelligence, explore and enjoy. The simple resources which are there at home, make use of that. Of course, keep the safety aspects. We're not asking you child to go and light the fire or the gas or do some stunts over there. And that will get you stress-free. So are we ready to mess around a little? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
All my panelists, I can hear you all at least. So you all can, at least answer.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Absolutely. We're all ready.
Okay. So we're going to stop sharing. And so I'm going to go on a countdown from 10, 9, 8, 7, 5, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. And as a finish of my one, just go and grab any paper that is there.
Can you all switch on your videos, please, if you don't mind?
Yes.
No
so
audio,
just go grab a paper and here we go. 10, 9, 8. I want everybody to participate. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Do we have the papers? Great. I can only see Priyanka ma'am with the paper, but then that's all right. I too have one. And these are all scrap papers. Any paper will do for me, anyone. Now, using this paper. Yeah. So with this paper, okay, I want you guys to come up with something innovative.
I can't see your videos on. Switch on your videos, please.
So with
Switch
this
on your
paper,
audio.
I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this activity with y'all because I already know it. So with this piece of paper, it could be smaller than this also. I really don't mind. You're going to make something which will help it to move at a distance that it can move the highest. So you're going to cover the highest distance. So kindly give it a thought for a few minutes and let it go fast. So I'm going to do a countdown from 20 to 0. You're going to come up with something innovative and then try putting it through, which can move, make it move faster. So let's go. 20, 19, 18. Are we making? Are we making? I'm not going to make it. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and a 0. So each one of y'all would have made something. Whoever is there, can you just show it up? Whoever, can y'all put your videos on? And ma'am, can you just have a look at it?
Yes.
I'll go to the gallery view and have a look at it.
Rocket with Miss Prithvi Banwasi's hand.
Okay, so is Priyanka, did you copy? No.
Somebody
Did you copy from anyone? I hope you all have not looked at each other. No, great.
I think each one has made a rocket.
Oh my God, great. So ma'am, they have done a stereotype thinking. They have all thought that's a rocket and the point. The nasal point, because it's pointed, and if you put with the wind, it's going to fly. But what they have not considered are the factors that you require the wind and you require the proper, angle and the skill to it. So you know what you've achieved here with your younger kids, the elder ones? Physics. There's so many things you've achieved. You have achieved maths. You have achieved, the correct shape, their critical thinking power. So was it so difficult to do it with your child? You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to leave your job. You can just give this task and let them explore and get back to you. So the trajectory path, the population, all of it is covered here, right? I could even make a small, round shape and I could have thrown it. It can get integrated with sports, the javelin throw, the short put, all of it is linked to all these things. So these are the basic things which we can do. So, and of course, the lighter the weight, the faster it travels. The heavier the weight, it takes a lot of time to travel. Then, of course, you have the different kinds of environment, the air, the vacuum, all of it in the different surfaces. So everything can get incorporated with this simple thing. So I thought, it would be interesting to do this so that you all understand the touch and feel of do it yourself at home with the mess that you have created around. Pick it up from there and make it beautiful. It works. With that, I can also leave you all with one more activity. You can try that later. And it's a small treasure hunt. You could be doing your work, but what you could set up is that you can have a small, clue, and that could have an activity, and it could be a variety of activity and 10 such clues. So once they achieve that activity, it leads you to the other clue. It could be a combination of your life skill, combination of your gross motor, all your 9 multiple intelligence covered there, with which ma'am has touched upon. So you could have 9 activities, and the 10th one is something that you give them as a prize, which is not in cash or something to, but something that motivates them to do something more, right? Now, those could be even as simple as, getting them doing ratio and proportion. You can give them that, if you're taking a atta and you're putting a water, if the water and the atta is not balanced, it's not going to give you a proper dough. So you're teaching them ratio and proportion there, right? So everything is about whatever we teach right from the early years and during their learning journey, they just move on in a play manner. And that is what makes interesting. It's not about just opening your textbooks and, teacher coming on the board and picking up something. And just because the curriculum is given, the teacher just comes, does, and goes off. No. Where is the concept understanding? Where is the application of that concept? That is far more important than whatever, the child is learning. The take back of a child till the end to apply at their workplace is completely based on what we do with them in the early foundation years. That is their schooling years. Your concepts are not grounded. You don't know where to apply them practically. Everything is lost. So, so there is nothing difficult. It's just a thought. Everything is right in front of you. You innovate, you explore, you use those multiple intelligence, put them together, and bingo, you're going to have something really interesting. I hope you really like that. So that's what we do in our school too. And we really enjoy, our children enjoy with us. And as ma'am rightly pointed out, and Priyanka ma'am also rightly said, that everything is not about reading, writing, and, getting your whatever structure into place. We know those skills are important. But how we do those concepts is something that I just showed you. Reading, writing, and all your concept understanding can be all done through play and, hands-on. You don't have to take a writing book and a pencil and, do. What can you do with a pencil or a crayon if your grips are not in place? Work on the grips first. And then you can give the support of just doing that, right? Your child has to learn a space management. A toddler child or a pre-K child has no concept of space. Children as young as 1.5, 2, they all scribble on the wall. Have you seen them scribbling on the wall? Because that's what they understand. They just scribble. Hence the doodling sheet is given. Hence, they can just do whatever they want. Slowly, we teach them the concept of space management. So when those skills are in place, everything automatically falls in space. You don't want to teach them, memorization. Oh, C-A-T, cat. That's not the way to teach them at all. Because if a toddler, I show them a B and I tell them it's an A, they only have visual recognition at that point in time. A child of 2 years, if you teach them a B as an A, they will always tell it as an A, because for them, it hardly matters. They have no knowledge of an A to Z. What you teach is what they learn. What they see is what they imbibe. So the visual connect, the auditory connect, the music and movement, all put together are for your early years. All of them, then, put together becomes your primary years. And as they mature, their understanding becomes much more, strategization becomes much more, but these all depends upon your primary and early year of education. So with that, I leave you all with a thought, and you all can make interesting games and share with us. If you have any questions, shoot.
We can't hear you, Aprupa.
You are muted.
He's done.
As I said, I'm done.
Yes, you have done. All right.
Yes, if there are any questions, they can shoot at me.
Yes, the floor is open to ask questions. Before that, yes, I will tackle some questions which has come here. They said that, hello, ma'am, it was very informative session. Always we hear that we need to limit the screen time, that we've answered. There's one more question saying, missed on DIY activities of Priyanka, ma'am. Any chance of getting an upgrade on this? I think we are recording everything. And so you can always ask us for all these things, and we can share it with you. And they said, I want to see Miss Priyanka's session on DIY again. Very interesting, Aprupa ma'am. And another statement says that very informative session, Miss Aprupa ma'am. So this is what I think. There's no questions. So if anybody wants to unmute themselves and ask question, Aprupa is here to answer you. Aprupa, your video has vanished.
Yes, I'm there, ma'am. Pretty much there. I think, ma'am, we can move on. And if they have a question, we will get back to them at the end of the session.
What she said, you can look up the question on the parent who said that my child writes very slow.
The child writes very slow. How old is the child?
That I'm not aware of. She just said that he does activities, but the child writes slowly.
Could be 3 years.
We need to know.
Is
And
5
you're
years
expecting
old.
the child to
5 years.
5 or 3?
5.
I think 5.
5 years.
Most of them have got the problem in writing skills. We have another person who was asked about the writing skills.
So as we just said that, you know, we are not looking. So have we actually see when we talk about my child is slow with the writing skill or slow with the reading skill, have we actually gone into even, you know, finding out, is it with the understanding? Is it with the grip? Or you know, there are various other problems. You also have a midline crisis that we call, where the child after a midline, you know, they can't read this side. They can only do very well this side. Once they come here, that's something to do with their brain. So there are various factors. If you just ask that question, we will have to explore different avenues and then reach an answer. There is no generic answer for us, you know, a general answer that can be given. It is all child specific. And therefore, the individualized learning program or the differentiated learning is something that is very, very important, for which, you know, the teacher, parent, and the student connect, the triangular learning that we call, is absolutely critical right from the young age, because there are various aspects that as a facilitator, as a teacher, or as an educationist, we explore, which as parents, you know, we just look at the broader aspects or whatever you find in Google or anywhere. We just, you know, arbitrarily grab those information, or, you know, one parent would have told something, but then that's specific to their child. Why do you even equate or, you know, do that with that other child? A child A can never be equal to child B, cannot be equal to child C. They are all unique. They are all unique set of individuals. So are we. I might be excellent with my speaking skills and, you know, my literacy knowledge and all that. That doesn't, you know, give me the power of that being excellent in my numeracy or the other physics or something like that. I might be absolutely a dud with that. But that's my core strength. But my weakness is also there. So how do I, you know, put my core strength into use and, you know, make those weaknesses come up at least to the average level, is something that only a teacher can work on a specific basis with a child. So asking a generic question, my child is a slow writer, without even, you know, looking at the avenues, the other skills, we can never answer that question. To some extent.
One more question is here, Aprupa.
Sorry, may I just add on?
I think Sandhya ma'am has something to say.
Sandhya wants to add on something.
Yes, may I just add on? Aprupa is actually very right about the comparison and everything that she said. As a 5-year-old, the 5-year-old is just learning to explore writing. That's when they are starting around age 4 or 5. The speed is not what you need to be looking at. One of the activities at home that you can do, which I have done with my children when we were homeschooling, is to help me to make the list, my grocery list, or pretend to be a waiter and take down what do you want for lunch or dinner, make a menu. So this is how I got the writing practice in place.
1 second, there's somebody who's raised the hand. Can you just speak up? They have something in their mind. Or you can speak after Sandhya finishes. Yes, Sandhya.
Okay. So you can use these activities at home to practice the writing. So like Aparupa just said, you will be able to identify where the problem is. It might not be slow. A 5-year-old, you don't have to look at slow writing. But if you will be able to identify where the problem is with these activities, you can then, when the school opens, inform that with the school, and then they will work on the right activity for the right skill. So you need to start engaging with activities. Don't just give a paper and say, write S or write this name and all of that. At 5, that's not possible.
Aprupa, can you take this question? How to handle the situation if parents are interfering and talking a lot during the session with toddlers? Thank you, Sandhya, for your inputs.
Talking a lot during the session, during toddlers, in the sense, can I have a little more clarity on this question?
This is Sucheta Agarwal sending me message. Sucheta, you can come on the video and can talk on the audio.
Yes, please.
So sometimes the toddler, we are giving the activities to the toddlers and probably they are not able to do it themselves, or the instruction they are not able to follow. So parent has to help the child out. but maybe sometimes parents also have not understood, so they keep throwing the questions continuously during the session, which might distract the other students as well. Maybe some certain kind of situation, how do you deal? Or maybe some parents have this habit of getting involved into the curriculum itself. No, you should teach this way, you should teach that way. So how do we deal with that?
So you are an educationist?
Yes, I am.
I don't get to see you on. Yes. Okay, great. So what's the age group of a toddler? How old is that toddler? It's just 2 to 3 years, right? Or even younger than that.
Yeah.
What do we expect of that child? I mean, the child even doesn't know any vocabulary. Forget about speaking and understanding and comprehending anything. I mean, I don't know whether the parents do realize, as I said, they just grab information from the Google, or, they just equate them, their child to some other child. And that's absolutely wrong. A 2-year-old, you as a 2-year-old, let's get back to our 2-year-olds. When we were 2-year-olds, what were we? Were we able to, even collate, comprehend? We might just pick up few words here and there. We don't even know the meaning of it. And therefore, in a toddler program, what do we have? We have music and movement. What are the sessions? They're just hardly 5 minutes, because even 5 minutes is much, much more for them. They don't even sit beyond 1 minute doing something. They are so full of energy. Their concentration level is absolutely, close to nil. They only want things, that are jumping up and down, and things that are happening for them. So you need to do activities which is going to channelize that energy, get them attracted towards those kind of activities. You cannot imagine them sitting down in one place like you and I are doing and take instruction, because nothing is, comprehending there. They do not understand and realize. That's what I just said. If I show a toddler B and I say it's an A, they will learn it as A itself. They will never say it as B. Have you ever realized a child as young as 2, they can read the signage of a McDonald's, KFC, or even the leading brands? Why? Can they do the spelling? Can they read? Do they have the sight word? Do they have the phonics in place? No, none. It's all a, visual image that is formed. You have told them that's a McDonald's and that's a KFC. If you invert it, for them, it's that. They look at that visual imprint, which gets into their mind, and that's what they, they're good at. And therefore, the audio visual connect is important. The gross motor way of learning things is important. So I think, the parents should realize, as I said, the soft skill is at 85, 15% here, 85% more on their soft skill and hardly 15% on their academic skills. And as they grow up the ladder, the ratio just changes because of the movement on their ladders on the soft skill. I'm sure Sandhya ma'am will also agree with the same. Yes, you cannot be looking at, a curriculum for a toddler charted out that, at the end of 3 years, my child should be able to read A to Z with the phonics and, will be able to talk fluently in English. That's impossible. Even if they can do a broken communication, whichever language, even if it's in their mother tongue, as ma'am rightly said, we are more than happy with it, because that's the socializing skill. You have taken them out of a beautiful comfort zone and put them into a structure for the first time in their life with all kinds of strange faces all around you. And then you expect them that they are going to adjust to all of it and they're going to do wonderful. That's too much to ask for from a 2 to 3-year-old. So and then, yeah.
Yes,
so that's what it is.
So we'll come back with the questions again. But
yes.
Right now, let's go ahead with the fourth speaker, the panelist, Mr. Prithvi Banwasi. And a warm welcome to you on the panel. And I think each speaker is taking a lot of time to explain a lot of things to you. I'm the moderator for you, Mrs. Usha Iyer, Director of the Green School Bangalore, and Prithvi Banwasi. Warm welcome to you. You can unmute yourself. Yes.
Yeah, I'm unmute. Thank you very much.
Yes.
It's
Mr.
wonderful.
Prithvi Banwasi, let me introduce him a little bit. He's a director of the Roots Montessori, and also he's also managing the Karnataka Preschool.
The Secretary for Karnataka Council of Preschools.
I just overlooked that. Secretary for the Karnataka Association of Preschools. And he is going to talk about not only the management challenges and the challenges preschools are facing, which we already did in the last session, but he also wants to take up these questions which parents are asking. Apart from that, you can ask whatever questions you want on the Zoom group chat, and you can also write mails to us. Please mute your audios. It'll be easy for us to introduce Mr. Prithvi. Post excelling the marketing and event industry, completed his Montessori diploma and MA in child mental health while nurturing Roots Montessori. He's also the director of Roots Montessori Teacher Training Program and holds a chair of Secretary for Karnataka Council of Preschools. And through KCPS, he assists preschools in need. He passionately pursues his hobby as an actor. He has acted in Hindi and Kannada movies. A very warm welcome once more to you, Mr. Prithvi, and over to you for taking
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Chat and to taking up the question on Zoom group chat. And even Manju Chakravarti will put up the question which is coming on the Facebook live. Thank you.
Sure. Okay. I believe most of us here are educators and parents for sure. Are we? I guess we are. So I'm going to be typically like the principal of a school, giving rules and regulations to begin with. If we are educators, we should have some sense of decorum first. Our videos, if our videos are going to be seen by others, we should know where we are sitting, how we are posing, whether we are yawning or not yawning. It's a big distraction for people who take effort to put up these kind of programs so that it reaches you. And we are surely not interested in seeing the roof or the walls of your house or the fan rotating. If you have the video on, let us see your face. And if your face is on, let it be clear so that we can see who you are. Yep. And if you want to yawn, close the video down, yawn, and then put it on back again. It's a big distraction. If you want to make comments about how a person looks, mute yourself first before you make those comments. It's very disturbing to the others also. Now, we are educators and we are parents. Automatically.
Can you be a little louder, Mr. Prithvi?
I have some slips that I have prepared today, and I hope you can. Oh, this will be reverse. Oh my God. Okay, not a problem. Small challenges. I am talking on 3 different topics here. The first topic is quick DIY. Since the topic of the day is do it yourself, a quick 2 DIY things that you can do at home. One, this is what something I spoke about on Akashvani recently. I'm repeating that here. One, make your children make family. Start from your child and go upwards, and also the reverse. Start from your grandfather and come downwards. We do not meet many of relatives these days. They're all far away. One stays in Balandur, other in JP Nagar. We will never go to the, we never meet each other. So to ensure that children are familiar with relatives and family members, make sure you make a family tree. This is the first activity, keeps them engaged, and the family tree size can be any big. It can even be a normal big tree that you can draw on a terrace. Second activity is use your terrace well, use your balcony well, have a snake and ladder game, which the children are very familiar with, and they love to play the game. So you make sure that you have the snake and ladder game. Every reward, that is every climb that you go up, you make sure there is an activity that is like a reward, like jumping 5 times or spelling your name or saying the names of the people in your house or talking about your dog, some reward points. Why? If the child reaches the snake and comes down, you make sure there are some again activities which is like crawling, which is like rolling twice, which is hopping like a frog. There are so many things that you can do. We suggest 2 activities, like how Priyanka, how Sandhya ma'am, how Aprupa ma'am, all of them were giving you different tips of different activities. These are also 2. Second thing, digital detox. Somebody spoke about digital time, which takes a lot of time for children, and how
you need to be a little louder, Mr. Prithvi.
The mic is almost to my mouth.
Yeah, now it's okay.
Yeah. So how do we ensure that our children are not engaged in digital time? Yeah, it is with the parents. They don't buy the mobile phone, you buy the mobile phone. You want them to hold it because you have other activities to do. If you are able to keep away the mobile phone and activities, cutting, pasting, lot of things that are the storytelling. If you have the time to make sure that you wise, rather than them going to the mobile. Why will they go to the mobile? When something is not interesting, they go to something which is more interesting. If we are retelling, could be reading a book, could even be helping in the kitchen. All these things are going to help the child be distracted and not go towards the mobile. Uh, the last part is how to handle when we begin schools. I have slips. I presume there are a lot of educators here. Uh, uh, the slips which says that step to begin schools, first is call only the helper staff on the first few days. Once the lockdown is going to be removed, we will all be allowed to go to our
Oh my God,
schools.
63 अब है, but इससे पहले ये 68 पे गया था, then कुछ वापस निकल गए फिर.
I think somebody is talking.
Manju ma'am.
Hello, can I continue?
Yes.
Yeah. So first few days, once the lockdown is over, we'll need to get the place ready. Call only your helper staff on the first few days. You make sure that the helper staff, include the admins, are there. Use proper disinfectants on all the material. Use sanitizers for all the people, disinfectants on all the material, and make sure there is a visual capture of these things which you can put it up on your school parent network. Parents have to see that the school is taking care of sanitizing and keeping the hygiene in place. So take pictures while your helpers are cleaning, make sure that that goes to the parents and they see that the school is getting ready for use. Second, plan an adequate instructions on their display. Now, if the disinfectant and the sanitizer, or could be even a thermal temperature reader, which is going to become shortly a norm in all the schools. Every school will probably have to have a thermal temperature reader before the child or the staff walks inside. We will figure that out once the circular comes by. But plan where if you have one gate for children to enter, you make sure that there is a vantage point where children walk there, come in, wipe their hands, clean themselves completely, and then go in. Just imagine that you're on a holiday and you're going to be using mosquito coil daily. It is going to be something like that, like a mosquito repellent cream. You're going to make sure that you use disinfectant creams so that the child will be able to get into the environment without having to trouble himself. 4. Briefing teaching staff on planned rules. Post disinfectant and cleaning with helpers and admins. Call the teachers, get them into them, give them a formulated plan that you have on how they need to work. Now, what is it that they need to plan? Now, each teacher in a preschool has probably about 15 children under her, and she will be working with them. If it's a Montessori, you have different activities like exercise of practical life, language, arithmetic, and sensorial material. If it is a preschool, not a Montessori, you have rhymes time, you have story time, you have puzzles work, you have cut and paste, you have artworks. There are so many things that are there. So the teachers, when they come in, they have to look at work zones for children and their activities related to activity. So if there is a school which has water activity, you make sure that area is separated from another activity. If there is a snack corner, you make sure that that is away from the reach of children and you have enough space for them. Every activity has to be created neatly and bifurcated. Also, you will have to leave rules and regulations for children. These rules and regulations are not just entry and exit rules, but how they will be in the environment, what they will do, and when they need to go to the toilet or when they have a requirement, who they will ask. These are something that we need to formulate and then keep. Prepare a detailed circular for parents. What is it that we need to prepare circular on for parents? There are so many things. One, entry and exit norms with pictures. Make sure you take photos of your entrance gate where you have positioned a sanitary sanitizer, and then you have a space where there is a helper with mask who is making sure she's wiping and cleaning. You have sample photographs which you have to post and put it across to parents, because if parents don't send children, we have no preschools. They need to send children. For them to send children, they need to be ensured that we have taken care of all the safety requirements. We need to have temperature checking. Now, apart from the staff, the children every day, we believe that parents will ensure that this is taken care and sent. But we do know parents, depending on the pressure of their work, will comfortably send the child and say, let the school handle. So when they come in, you ensure that there is a checking of temperature, and if there is a slight high temperature, make sure there is an infirmary where make sure that the child is rested. Work plan for children. This is about the schedules and batches. There are many schools which have more than 50, 60 children. The space might not be enough for so many children to maintain social distancing. You have to ensure that social distancing is there for these children. You make sure that either you divide them by batches, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, depending on how you can create a system which will reinforce faith and confidence in parents. You can bring all the children at the same time, provided you have the space enough where these children need not be in direct physical contact. Conduct risk assessment for staff regularly and let parents know. What is risk assessment for staff? We presume that all our helpers, our staff, are always fine. We need to ensure that they are regularly checked, because they are in contact with our children more than the children itself. One helper takes all the children to the toilet, which means you need to ensure that there is backup plan for every helper to be clean and neat when they get into the environment, when they work with each child. Which is the best way to do it? Gloves. Use gloves. Mask. Gloves and masks are going to become part of what is required for helpers. Please, teachers, don't use gloves. Don't put gloves for children. They are doing sensorial activity. They need to touch and feel. They need to not become people with gloves. They need to touch and feel. But yes, helpers, you make sure there is gloves, aprons if possible, and mask, so that there is least contact from external source. For teachers, you ensure that you have your medical check done on a regular basis, rather on a daily basis, and make sure that you are fit and fine, which can be probably published in your app that you use or any mode of communication to the parents, so that parents know that there is some kind of safety with the teachers that is taken care. Now, we might be ready with all these things, but you think this is going to work only when children come? When do you think children are going to come to schools? There is a lot of speculation in all these WhatsApp groups. Now, WhatsApp groups are the best places. You don't read messages, or you should not believe anything that is there, because it is to the power of 10. Anything goes by, it's to the power of 10, and it is best understood by whoever understands it the way it is. Rather, ensure that we are positive. Children below 6 years, no need to do any online activity apart from rhymes and storytelling. Recently, there has been a nice, beautiful video of Miss Harshita from Elm, who has narrated a wonderful story, and it is, I mean, it's a viral, but it's very good. So you have stories that you can send to children where they connect to the person who's saying the story and say, hey, that's my teacher. Hey, that's my ma'am. I think that's the reaction that is more than enough. Rhymes. You can do rhyme session. A lot of schools are trying it out, and some successful, some not so successful, but it will work. Third thing, talk to parents. Talk to parents on online, not to children. Uh, there is a challenge, as we ourselves see. Most of our households don't have 3 laptops, and even if there is 1 or 2 laptops, there are people working on it. If you have to every day dedicate a time for these webinars or online classes for children, it's very taxing on the other people who are working at home. So you ensure the least amount of interaction online. The next thing that you can do.
Your voice is not clear, Mr. Prithvi.
Yeah, I'm taking it closer. So the headphones. You have to ensure that if you are going to be doing classes for children online, be it rhymes or be it storytelling, no headphones for children. Very, very clearly. Most of the laptops can be connected to Bluetooth speakers. You please instruct parents very clearly to be present with them and also have a Bluetooth speaker so that the instructions are very clear. If not Bluetooth speaker, the computer speaker itself, but no headphones. So there are few things that we need to look into. Be creative so that our children don't get digital. Be creative at home now in the situation that we are all at home. Be creative at home so that your children don't go too much towards the mobile phone. Second thing is, look forward to the school. School is the place where teachers are there. Home is the place where parent is there. A parent should remain a parent. A teacher should remain a teacher. Post 6 years, a parent and a teacher differentiation can easily be handled by the child. But below 6 years or under 6 years, the child looks at a parent in a different perspective and the teacher in a different perspective. That clarity has to be maintained. Speak to children. We are still on May 3rd. Vacation completes May 30th. Schools begin June. Otherwise, every academic year. So we are in vacation. While in vacation, please don't stress yourself to give too much activities to children. Like last time I mentioned, consider you're on a holiday, consider you're stuck inside the hotel room and do activities. Don't get into too much academics. They love it. All the speakers said today saying that below 5 years, they are sensorial, they grasp what is there beautifully. Yes, whether you call it mess and play, whether you call multiple intelligence and learning, whether you call creativity, they are people who absorb, grasp so beautifully that whatever we speak, whatever we do, whatever we see and say are something that they are going to be engaging themselves in. I would like to end by saying schools are good. They're going to be coming up shortly. All hygiene, everything is going to be taken by every single school so that the child or the teacher are not going to fall ill. Parents, don't stress yourself with online activities, not too much. Singing, music is all available. Please ensure that those are all that you will do. Don't get into ABCDs, 1, 2, 3, 4s. Stick to storytelling, more than enough. Teachers, please have faith in your schools. Schools are going to always be there. You're going to get back. Enjoy with your children. Plan. This is a time to better yourself. Read more. Learn more. Sing more. Enjoy your voice. Nobody is going to throw you out of the house. This is the best time to sing at home. Nobody is going to say stop singing. So sing more, learn more so that you're ready for children more. Any questions? I will take.
I think we
Otherwise,
have some
I end
questions,
this.
Mr. Prithvi. We have some questions
Yeah.
here. There's one Takshmi,
Sure.
how to engage kids. She says of different ages in the same house. Here I have my daughter, she's 4 years old, and my in-laws kid, she's 1. I hope most of the parents would also have siblings. So any activities available for both the ages to play together. Any of the panelists also can take it up. Or Prithvi, you can.
Yeah, if you want me to give an activity,
No problem.
paper cutting. Paper cutting is one of the activity where there is competitive. Yeah, not for 1-year-old. 1-year-old and 4-year-old, leave them to be together and be the referee. More than enough.
Okay. I have an idea. I had already typed it out in the chat window. Almost all the activities that are done at the home can be engaging for the 1-year-old as well as the 4-year-old. Be it the kitchen, be it the laundry, all these activities which Priyanka, Aprupa, and I had also given can be done. I also suddenly remembered now the craze is almost all I find on Facebook microgreens, all mothers, no soil, nothing. So this is something that even a 1-year-old can engage with. Get some seeds, water it, put napkins or cloth and keep that. They will be engaged watching it also. They can take care of these things as well as all household, including making their own bed. Even a 1-year-old can help with that. Hold one side. The older one, the 4-year-old can fold it. So it's up to you how you will engage them in the activities. But everything at home, both the age groups you can work on. Any age group for that matter can work.
Thank you, Sandhya, for your inputs. And Mr. Prithvi, your insights and everything was excellent. And I think the floor is open for asking questions. So please write your questions in the Zoom group chat or in the Facebook. We are live on the Facebook. We've got 65 odd people viewing us, and there are about 30 or 40 people viewing us. So you have any questions for us, we will be very glad to answer you. There is one message from Alia Taj. She says, very good suggestion, sir. It's for you, Mr. Prithvi. It's important. Let's not forget it's vacation time for them. A very simple and good talk, she says. Not really looking forward to the school to start off. So I think she's enjoying her time with the little one. There's one more line which has been, one more message which I can see. Usha ma'am, please take care of the school starts off. Please take extra care of the school hygiene. That's the most thing worried about due to COVID. So let me tell you, all the people who are listening to us, there's going to be a hygiene certificate which schools are supposed to be getting. And Mr. Virendra Rawat from Ahmedabad is tied up with CBSE and he's doing it. And for your information, and it's just not that, but it's very important to sanitize the whole place, which we are doing with the professional people. This is for letting people know that's not only us, but I think all the heads will be very worried about it. Isn't Sandhya? Sandhya, you two are doing it in your school, right?
Yes. We have made arrangements. Anyway, we would be opening only when the lockdown and schools will open, but we have planned out how we will be starting. And Mr. Prithvi had very good tips also, certain ones that I will be taking into consideration.
So before we wind up for today, because there's no more questions, which I can see here, one more question is there. One message is there. How to make kids eat fast? Any activities? So that's a good message. How to make kids eat fast? I think the mob psychology works in school, so they eat fast. But when they're in the house, they don't eat fast. So
Starve them for a long time, so whatever they eat fast.
So Priyanka says that she has the answer for it.
Yeah, actually, I would like to share my own experience. One of our teacher, Nandini B, so there was a child in our school, and he was not only the fussy eater, but he don't even chew. He just take his food in the mouth and then he store like it's a cold storage or something. Then she has come up with one nice idea. She made one stick puppet lips, with 2 sticks, and she was moving it, and she was just asking the child, just do the same, just follow these lips. And he started doing it. But honestly, it took like a month for us to achieve that target. And I don't think we actually have a solution apart from mob psychology, which always works in our school, where we ask all of them to eat together, where we give them clean plate awards, the one who takes care of others' food as well by motivating them by eating good. So we always appreciate such kids. I think the parents at home, you just have to start appreciating your child. Simple star you can make on their hand, cut down the screen time. If you have adopted this habit where you are playing something on a screen and asking your child to eat, I think this is the one thing, when we start, we should know that, this is going to continue. So if we stop this habit, and while feeding our child, if we will talk and will not allow our child to talk, then they start focusing on food. And always make that food presentable, because this is what we do. Like, we make beetroot paratha in school, we serve it, and we always call it as an Iron Man paratha. We don't say it is beetroot paratha. Spinach paratha always becomes Hulk paratha. So you just have to use some fancy names based on, superstars or the, other characters which they like, and make them eat. Apart from that,
probably telling a story to a child when child is eating.
That's what I said,
I've grown up like that. Yes.
We have to do that.
Aprupa, there's a question for you. Thank you, Priyanka, for your inputs. Aprupa, there's a question for you. It says that we are teaching, she's Kyra. There's a Kyra who is here. Hello, ma'am. We are teaching our kids 4-year-old building words like cat, bat, mat. Is it good to do these activities at home?
No. No. If you're teaching any concept like that, please do not. Because there's a way that, these concepts are taught, and I have already touched upon those, and so has Sandhya ma'am and so has Priyanka ma'am. Do not look at, the stereotype reading and writing skills. And as Prithvi sir has told, below 5 years, let's not venture into all those things. Let's work on their skill sets, which is much, much more important. CAT cat and BAT bat is something we have learned, but that's not the right way of doing things. It's a combination of phonics, word family. As I said, the children need to, understand it is not the memorization. We have memorized cat, bat, rat, CAT cat, BAT bat. So wherever we see CAT, it's a cat for us. But if you just, turn it a little bit, they will not be able to even read that, because they do not know the phonics, they do not know the idea or the psychology behind teaching that thing. And therefore, as I said before, application of a concept becomes very important. So the way a facilitator and an educator will put forth is completely different. And therefore, some amount of virtual connect, or, some amount of as we do online. I'm not talking about doing a complete academics, but all of it can get introduced through a playway method, which, Priyanka ma'am has touched upon. We do all of this, via storytelling, via different games, via laser maze, whatever, whichever way the child can imbibe it and retain back throughout their life. I mean, there's so many wonderful memories I have of my kindergarten teachers, few of them, very few, because those teachers really impacted me. I have, most of it is bad memory, especially my maths teacher, but the ones who have really taught me, made me understand concept, I've never forgotten, right? None of us forget all those things, because it's there right till the end. We grow up and we build on it. So please do not do all of that. Do all the other things. Have fun. As I said, mess around and create history.
Thank you, Aprupa, for the inputs. There's a question here. It says that any other platform where you can get DIY activities apart from Google. Sucheta Agarwal puts up this message.
Yes, I have told her already, that Sucheta, you can just integrate academics with DIY activity. You just have to use your creativity, and there is no limit for imagination. You can teach any concept with the simple socks. It's just up to you how you are going to use that. So don't become that stereotype, this activity is there, this is what I have to copy. Please stop doing copy paste. Use your imagination.
And this question of Hansvi Boras, which has come on this platform, I like to answer this question. Any amendments by government for private school regarding school fees? During lockdown, collection in advance, also many schools deducting salary for teachers, saying these are online classes going on. No ways, Mr. Mrs. Hansvi Bora. Teachers are all paid in time in every school, whether it's a preschool or bigger school. And it's very clearly told by the Supreme Court that we can collect the fees from the parents. And it's not only for the online classes, but it's also for the staff and the D category staff and the maintenance and for the rent and everything, all the EMIs, what the school borrows and takes a loan for doing it. Everything goes through the school fees. And if the smaller preschool, I implore all the parents to pay the fees in time, because I have done it for my children, because their professors need to be paid. So this is the answer for you, Mrs. Bora, on this platform. Sandhya, any take on this?
Yes, Mr. Prithvi.
Mr. Prithvi Banwasi, yeah.
Yeah, please understand, parents. school fee is a complete 12-month fee. Teachers are paid for all the months. Bus drivers are paid for all the months. Cooks and helpers are paid for all the months. Even those months you're on vacation, they are paid incomplete. There is no 50%, 25%, nothing like that. So even if the school is not functional for a month or two, the academic fee is applicable for 12 months. Please understand that much, because as a school, whether it's a small school or a big school, the challenge is the same. Only the fees comes in, only then you can make payments to the staff. If you make payments to the staff, your children are going to be taken care better. It's a cycle. It is a cycle. If there are going to be 5 teachers in an environment of 35 to 40 children, you have to ensure that every single person is there. For that, everybody needs to be paid. You cannot say 1 month there was no school. For example, if June we do not have a school at all, and August is when we have to start. This academic year 2020-2021 begins from June, ends in May. So please understand, don't go by gimmicks on the newspaper. Politicians saying that fees can be reduced. What can happen is the last year's fee can continue as this year's fee, provided you have proof enough that you have no earning.
Now, there is a message from the parents, Mr. Banwasi, saying that unfortunately corporates are deducting their salaries.
My child's school has sent a mail saying that there is a scholarship fund available if in case you want to apply for it. The school fees is X amount. There is an availability of a scholarship that the child can avail if in case you are in financial distress to make the payment. Now, there are 3 ways to do it. You can give more installments to the same parent who says it's going to be difficult for him. You can ensure that the installments increase and the cost reduces for him. There are financial institutions I am working with now, tying up for schools who will pay complete fee in advance and collect it as an EMI from them.
Absolutely.
There are institutions that we are working with to be announced shortly. They will not take any EMI extra interest from the parent, but will charge it to the school. Now there are so many benefits coming up.
Miss Manju Chakravarti is also working on that for a few parents.
Yeah, we are all working towards ensuring that all systems in all communities are in comfort zone. You don't have money, we also don't have money. We don't have this wall. If you break the wall, there is money going to fall out. No, we are also in the same boat. Next month, I also don't know where I'll be paying rent from if you're going to be sitting here. So are many of us sitting here. So if any report, newspaper, article talks about school fee, you be morally committed to the school and say, my child is going to that school. The school is doing a good job. My child needs to learn. For that, I need to see all the stuff. So I will ensure I pay the complete fee. Full stop.
Perfect.
Thank you. Over to you.
Yes, there's a question from somebody. Yes. Anybody wants to ask questions? I could hear.
Okay, I'm going to answer back to that corporates deducting salaries.
Yes.
Stop going to PVR. Stop going to movies. Stop picking popcorn and Coke. You can pay 2 children's fees the entire academic year.
True that.
Perfect. Then we have time. We have money for a clothes and for our food habits and eating in a restaurant. I think cut down and prioritize what is important in your life. And if you pay, at least we can pay the teacher salary in time and the staff. That's very important. And one more thing is there, the transport fees comes in a picture. A message came to me in my private phone, privately, saying that, what about the transport fees? Because my child is not going in the bus. So if you are going to stop the transport fee and if you don't give it, probably we can work out a concession with those people if it's an outsourced vehicle. But I'm sure about it that you have to pay because the driver's salary and the EMIs for the bus also goes from the money what we pay them.
Yes.
So what's your take on it, the other people on the panel?
in the group also there have been many questions regarding this, because parents have this misconception that the fee includes, or the large chunk goes for infrastructure or for electricity, water, and let's say transport not being used, the diesel. Just parents, for their understanding, actually our major chunk goes for the rent and for the salaries, which is not compromised in any way at this point of time, and we have to pay it. The amount that you all are talking about is a very, very small amount. It would be 100 rupees of deduction if you divide it by the number of students. This is not our major expense at all. And parents need to understand that our major chunk goes into things where we have to pay for. So fees paid on time would actually help your own child to come, as Mr. Prithvi said.
Yes, thank you so much for your inputs, Ms. Sandhya. And Ms. Prithvi, answers were very good, which you had given. But some more questions are coming from Vidat. Mr. Banwasi answered clear and strong, ma'am. I'm happy. Despite the daycare is shut, I have been paying full fees, although daycare asked for 50% fee. I did not want DDs to suffer. I really appreciate you for doing that, because generally I've seen parents, my own parents of my school, they're saying, ma'am, my child did not come to daycare, so can you adjust the school fees? I messages from the parents, but you paying the entire school fee, I mean 50% of it, so DDs don't suffer. This is a fantastic thing with that. And there's one more message. Okay.
I wanted to add something.
Personal messages, Alia Taj, if you're writing personal messages, please write it in our to our cell phones. You for,
I want to add
something.
something.
Answer you here. Yeah.
Usha ma'am, I want to add something.
Yes, yes, Mr. Prithvi.
Please note, parents, that consumerism is going to change. Not every week are you going to go out and eat anymore. You have begun to love the cooking of your husband. Now you know he makes good dishes.
Who gave you the phone?
Who gave me the idea? My wife. Yeah. So we all now are going to change the way we are going to be consumers, which means we will be saving in a lot of money. 2, the most important thing for us is education for our child. If that is a priority for us, please create a fund which probably will make you feel much better by donating that money. Even if you give excess than your fees, it is going to go to a helper, it is going to go to a teacher, it's going to go to the betterment of some activity that will touch your school, the child, finally. So you ensure that you become more benevolent towards educational institutions, towards NGOs. You don't need to go to a blind place and donate and take photo and put it up on your Facebook saying that I am doing this donation. That even if you do it to your own school where your child is, it is wonderful. It's not about anybody doing any favoritism or partiality to your child because you donated. It is only that today the most not required non-essential activity we have figured out is education. Everything is getting open, including liquor stores, but they're saying schools should not open. You understand that we are the last people who will be given any benefits by the government. Most of the preschools are independent bodies, independent trusts. There is a huge discussion going on in a couple of WhatsApp groups about medium scale small industry has a benefit from the government now currently. You think we as preschoolers can register ourselves there and get any benefit? By the time we finish couple of forms, half the year would be over. I think we should stick to doing our job of being educators and running schools. I think parents, you need to support. The whole activity works when you show support. And children are children, they will enjoy mask or no mask, virus or no virus. They will be ready to come, mess around, clean around, and play around. Bye for now.
Thank you so much, Mr. Prithvi. And one take-home message from each of the panelists out here. Ms. Sandhya Vishwan, let's start with you. We're going to wind up the session. All the people who are watching us, thank you very much for being with us, the educators, parents, and each one of you who have asked questions. I hope we were able to solve all your problems and your answers were given to you and it was satisfying. So let's hear from Sandhya Vishwan.
Let your children be children till the lockdown is eased and they are back in school. They will be building up on their skills and be ready for school if you just let them be children and engage them at home.
Yes, Priyanka?
Well, like always, I will request parents to put down your textbook, your pen, start using your creativity and help your child to grow in a proper and a happy manner. Develop your family bond because this is a wonderful time. We just have to enjoy it with your little ones.
Yes, Ms. Aprupa Gupta?
Let's get the child out of us. So all of us have hidden, child-like things inside us. So let's just explore that along with our kids. We can dance with them. We can snuggle under a blanket and read a storybook, enjoy some movie time, make popcorns at home and create that environment. There's so much to do, play a little ball game with them. I mean, just that. And I think, we are all there together. So mess around, be a child and live that moment. It's not going to come back again. It's been given to you as a gift. So let's encash on it. That's it.
Thank you so much, all of you. It's been wonderful panel and a lot of questions and answer sessions happening here. And I think we'll have to wind up the session as of now. So dear viewers and listeners, you all have heard about the DIY activities for kindergarten and the primary. Please try it out with your kids at home. Homegrown activities connecting in multiple intelligence as told by Sandhya, and as told by Priyanka about the kindergarten activities of 2 to 6 years. And Aprupa ma'am told about make it messy as possible and enjoy with your kids. And don't feel depressed and about the lockdown and say, oh my God, it's 14 days more to go. And people are all counting when we have to come out. You don't know what's waiting outside for you when all of you will come out together. So please be very careful when you come out. Be safe, be at home, and don't feel depressed. Next Sunday, same time at 4 o'clock, we're having a session with Mr. Ajit Acharya. We'll be talking about the emotional well-being and mental well-being, as well as about the lockdown issues, which was proclaimed by the government and why it was done, because it's also connected politically. So stay tuned on and hear him. He's the only single solo speaker the coming Sunday. So in between, we might have these panelists come up with one by one, probably, to do a workshop with you and stuff like that. We're soon going to start with Green Ed Talks by the TGSB. So thank you very much, Ms. Sandhya Vishwan, Ms. Priyanka, Ms. Aprupa, and Mr. Prithvi Banwasi.
Thank you and good evening to all.
Good evening.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.